What is your definition of major disaster?
My definition of what a major event
Yeah, that would be.
of some of ones we lose a lot of people. Airplane crashes because an AI has done something inappropriate. We just had somebody hack into the water system a
Mhm.
couple years ago, and in the Florida, and the automated system was altered, so it was dumping a lethal amount of chlorine into the water, could have wiped out a good chunk of the state. That didn't have it caught it and stopped it, but one of those things being successful where you have a mass casualty event, I expect that'll be what the trigger is. We don't seem to take anything else very close calls don't really wake us up as they should, but you got a bunch of people dying at once, and suddenly people take interest.
It's interesting because we were talking the other day about how Anthropic basically came out and said, "Hey, we need to put a pause button on this, but we're only going to if everyone else does." I mean, in this case, one of the heads of the beast is saying is seeing these close calls. These things we're discovering are very scary, and we need to take this more seriously. But nobody else seems to be heeding that warning. Do you have any
It's
hope
because
that
'cause they're all
something like
racing.
that will happen?
Well, yeah, it's because everybody's racing. This is a race to the finish line, and my concern is the finish line is us all being dead. Whenever you have a race, it's very hard to convince one team in the race to apply more safety technology. For years with when playing football, we didn't actually give the players much in the way of helmets until suddenly there was a big kerfuffle about players having brain damage, and enough of them were showing up brain damage that they finally decided to take action and put in place safety mechanisms. Seat belts in cars kind of are a given. Every car should have seat belts. Remember how much I was alive back then, and people just, oh, you're infringing on my back. There's some people who drive without seatbelts because they're infringing on their freedom. So
I remember riding in the back of a hatchback when I was a kid,
yeah,
so
well, or in a
not like a
back of a
short trip
pickup truck.
either, like 12 hours.
And when I was little, we drove back with pickup truck,
That's
rode in the
right.
back of pickup trucks all the
I did
time, and
that too.
Yeah,
you hit something, and
absolutely.
you're going to go ballistic. So the so the so it takes a major event or major scare. It may not necessarily require we kill a lot of people, but generally that's what happens before somebody takes it seriously. I mean, I remember the planes were blowing up in the air because they were dropping power lines through the gas tanks. We don't do that anymore. But it unfortunately you would have, well, the engineers should have probably flagged that before the first plane went up, but they didn't. It wasn't until they analyzed the planes that exploded. They said, well, putting these wires through the gas tanks probably aren't a good idea. Well, yeah.
Well, once again, I come away from one of these conversations both excited about all the things AI can do for me, but terrified about how it's going to kill me in the end. So,
Sorry about that.
any other important things that we should know before we let you go?
Well, we're still the front end of this. We're not even at critical mass with autonomous vehicles. Autonomous robots aren't a thing yet. That's going to change in the next 2 decades. So we're literally just at the beginning. We're speculating about what's going to happen, and we could be working really hard to prevent those things from happening. But yet we're still racing like hell to try to build this stuff as quickly as possible and throwing it out there before it's ready. The Tesla autonomous car technology is a case. We haven't pulled back and said, okay, we're going to make sure that it's hitting a valid level 3, level 4, level 5 point before we actually start putting this on the roads with people. And the thing is, we've got full scale simulations. We can show the stuff's not ready, but it doesn't matter. We're still putting it on the road and saying, well, somebody gets run over, kid gets killed. It's a price of progress.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be.
Money to be made, so why slow down?
Yep.
All right.